Hello and welcome. I trust you are ready to deconstruct the reality of human connection today. We are here to discuss a topic that leaves many men in a state of quiet desperation: the loss or the complete absence of genuine desire from a woman. Let us begin by addressing the silence. You know the feeling. You are in a relationship, or perhaps you are courting someone, and on paper, everything seems perfect. You are reliable, you are present, you are kind. You have done everything that society told you a good man does. Yet when you look into her eyes, you do not see hunger. You see safety, perhaps you see friendship, but you do not see that raw, urgent need to be with you physically. The bedroom is quiet. The interactions are polite, but sterile. You feel invisible, not because you aren't there, but because you have become part of the furniture of her life, necessary but unexciting. This pain is specific. It is the pain of being loved, but not wanted. Most men react to this by trying harder. You become more available. You ask more questions. You try to shrink the distance between you and her, thinking that closeness will reignite the spark. But today, based on the profound psychological insights of experts like Esther Perel, we are going to dismantle that lie. The truth is counterintuitive. The truth is that the very things you are doing to secure her love are the exact things that are killing her desire. If you are tired of this dynamic and you want to understand the deep psychological mechanics of attraction, make sure you subscribe. We are not dealing with surface level advice here. We are dealing with the root causes of human behavior. To understand what a woman is actually asking of you, often without saying a word, you must first understand the fundamental paradox of intimacy. We have been taught that love and desire are the same things. They are not. They are, in many ways, opposing forces. Love rests on two pillars: surrender and generosity. It is about we. It is about knowing the other person. It is about safety, reliability, and closeness. Love is about having someone to care for you. Desire, however, is completely different. Desire does not want safety. Desire wants a bridge to cross. Desire does not want to know everything. Desire needs mystery. Desire is not about we. It is about the space between you and me. Esther Perel famously states that fire needs air. When you are constantly hovering over a woman, constantly seeking her validation, constantly available, you are suffocating the fire. You are removing the air. You have collapsed the tension that is required for a spark to exist. This brings us to the first critical realization, and it leads to the first of the two subconscious questions she is asking. When a woman looks at you, she is not just looking for a partner in domestic life, she is looking for a separate entity. She cannot desire what she already possesses entirely. If you have completely surrendered your identity to her, if you have no life outside of her, there is nothing left for her to seek, nothing left for her to want. This leads us to the first profound question she is silently asking you. A question that determines whether she sees you as a friend or a lover. That question is, can you sustain your own vitality without me? Let's analyze this deeply. Vitality is aliveness. It is confidence. It is the energy of a man who is engaged with the world. When you are at work, when you are passionate about a hobby, when you are speaking with authority to others, that is when you are most attractive. Why? Because in those moments, you do not need her. You are radiant on your own. You are looking away from her and toward your purpose. In that moment, she can look at you from a distance. She can see you not as her partner who takes out the trash, but as a man who commands space in the world. This creates a gap, and in that gap, her imagination begins to work. She begins to wonder about you again. She begins to see you as a mystery. But if your entire vitality is dependent on her mood, if your happiness rises and falls based on whether she smiled at you today, you have placed a burden on her that kills desire. You have made her responsible for your emotional state. That is not sexy, that is a chore. Think about the times she was most attracted to you. It was likely when you were just out of reach. Perhaps you were playing music, perhaps you were fixing something complex, or perhaps you were simply confident in your own skin, unbothered by her opinion. She needs to see that you are alive as an individual. If you are dead inside, if you have no passion, no drive, and no world outside of the relationship, she feels she is sleeping with a shadow, not a man. This connects directly to the concept of erotic intelligence. Eroticism is not just about the act of sex. It is about the quality of aliveness and vibrancy. A woman wants to be invited into your world, but you must have a world to invite her into. If your world is entirely empty waiting for her to fill it, there is no adventure. There is only obligation. We are establishing the foundation here. Desire requires distance, And attraction requires that you remain a distinct, sovereign individual. You must be somewhat other. You cannot be fully known. But being independent is only the first half of the equation. It solves the issue of mystery, but it does not solve the issue of connection. Once she sees you are a capable, vital man, a second, darker, and more primal question arises in her mind. This is the question that determines if she feels safe enough to let go of control and surrender to you physically. It is a question about your strength, not just in the world, but in the face of her emotional chaos. We will explore this second, crucial question in the next part of this series. It is the missing link that most men fail to understand, leading to the friend zone, even when they are successful in life. Stay focused because we are going deeper. We have established that your independence and vitality are what catch her eye. They create the necessary distance for desire to spark. But distance alone is not enough. If you are too distant, you are simply a stranger. If you are too separate, you are cold. To bridge the gap between admiring you from afar and wanting to be intimate with you, a woman needs to know something fundamental about your internal structure. This leads us to the second and arguably more difficult question she is silently asking you every single day. That question is, can you withstand me? This is not about physical strength. This is about emotional solidity. Esther Perel and other relationship psychologists often discuss the concept of containment. In the realm of deep intimacy and sexuality, a woman is often asked to surrender, to let go of control, to be vulnerable, and to lose herself in the moment. Biologically and psychologically, she cannot do this if she feels she is stronger than you. If she leans on you and you collapse, or if she expresses a storm of emotion and you become defensive, shaky, or angry, she instinctively knows you are not a safe container for her experience. Here is where most men fail. When a woman is stressed, moody, or testing boundaries, the average man tries to fix it immediately because her discomfort makes him anxious. He pleads, he apologizes when he hasn't done anything wrong, or he withdraws into silence. In doing so, he answers her question with a no. He is saying, "No, I cannot withstand you. Your emotions are too much for me to handle." If you cannot handle her stress, she will never trust you with her wildness. If she can rattle you easily, she cannot respect you deeply. And without respect, desire withers. This dynamic explains why the nice guy finishes last. The nice guy thinks that by agreeing with everything, by never causing friction, and by constantly smoothing things over, he is buying his way into her heart. In reality, he is proving that he has no backbone. He is proving that he is afraid of her reaction. A woman does not want a man who is afraid of her. She wants a man who can look at her chaos, look at her bad moods, and stand firm, loving, but unmoving. She wants an anchor, not a leaf blowing in the wind of her emotions. Shutterstock. Think of this in terms of polarity. Sexual energy requires a positive and a negative pole. If she is in her feminine energy, which can be flowing, chaotic, and emotional, she needs you to hold the masculine pole, which is fixed, logical, and grounded. When you stay calm in the face of a storm, you are signaling to her primal brain that you are competent. You are signaling that you are not just a child seeking her approval, but a man who is grounded in his own reality. This specific type of strength creates a powerful form of safety. It is not the safety of a best friend who agrees with everything. It is the safety of a structure that will not break. When she feels that you are unshakable, her nervous system relaxes. She stops trying to control everything because she feels she doesn't have to. And when a woman stops trying to control, she becomes free to feel, to experience, and to desire. She can finally let go because she knows you have got it. So, the two questions combined create the perfect storm for attraction. Question 1. Can you sustain your vitality without me? Proves you are high value and autonomous. Question 2. Can you withstand me? Proves you are strong and safe. When you answer yes to both, you become a rare commodity in the modern dating marketplace. You become a man who is both exciting and reliable, a man who is an adventure to chase, but also a home to return to. However, knowing these concepts is one thing. Executing them requires a change in your daily behavior. In the final part of this series, I will give you the concrete, actionable steps to embody this. We will discuss how to stop seeking validation and how to hold your ground without becoming an asshole. This is where the theory becomes practice. We have deconstructed the psychology. We have uncovered the two silent questions. Can you live without me? And can you withstand me? Now we must translate this understanding into action. Philosophy is useless without execution. If you want to shift the dynamic in your relationship from a platonic friendship back to a passionate connection, you must stop acting out of fear and start acting out of intent. First, you must reclaim your space. This is the practical application of the first question regarding vitality. You need to stop making her the absolute center of your orbit. This does not mean ignoring her. It means having a center of gravity that exists outside of her. Rediscover the passions you abandoned. Go to the gym not to look good for her, but to feel strong for yourself. Reconnect with your male friends. When you come home, you should have stories to tell, not just questions to ask. When she asks, "How was your day?" do not just say, "Fine." Tell her what you conquered. Tell her what you learned. Bring new energy into the house. Remember, desire is born in absence. If you are always there, hovering, waiting for her instructions, you are effectively killing the mystery. Give her the gift of missing you. Let her wonder what you are doing. That wonder is the seed of eroticism. Second, you must practice emotional non-reactivity. This is the practical application of the second question regarding containment. The next time she is upset, irrational, or testing you, do not crumble. Do not raise your voice, and do not beg for forgiveness if you have done nothing wrong. Instead, practice the art of the pause and take a deep breath. Look at her with understanding, but hold your ground. Be the mountain, not the weather. You can say, "I can see you are upset and I am here, but I will not be spoken to that way." This sets a boundary while maintaining connection. It shows her that you are strong enough to protect yourself, which means you are strong enough to protect her. When she realizes her emotional storms cannot capsize your boat, she will feel an immense sense of relief. That relief turns into trust, and that trust turns into surrender. Ultimately, this is not a game of manipulation. This is about becoming a man of substance. Esther Perel's insights remind us that a woman wants to be with a man who is whole. She does not want to be your mother, your therapist, or your sole source of entertainment. She wants a partner. A partner is someone who stands beside her, distinct and capable, looking outward in the same direction, not someone clinging to her leg. You must invite her into a life that is already interesting. You must offer her a strength that is already proven. If you can master these two elements, your own vitality and your emotional stability, you will stop chasing desire and start attracting it. You will no longer have to ask for intimacy because intimacy is the natural byproduct of the tension between two strong, independent individuals. Thank you for investing your time in this analysis. If this deep dive into the psychology of relationships has provided you with a new perspective and you are ready to explore more about the dynamics of masculine and feminine nature, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Do not remain in the dark. Understanding is the first step to mastery. Until next time.